Ooh. Welcome back to the Veteran and Rookie Podcast.
Listen to that.
Listen to that Sprite cranberry and just
The crackle and
Mhm.
the snap and
that
the pop.
classic Christmas beverage for the thirstiest time of the year. Welcome back to the Veteran Rookie Podcast. I am your veteran, Benea.
I am not your veteran, John.
You're playing like a veteran from time to time,
I
though.
am. The standings tell it that way.
And you're also the one who won their fantasy football game and didn't lose to the 2-12 team. Granted, we're both in the consolation bracket. Neither of us made the actual playoffs.
Yep, the toilet bowl is what we call it.
Yes, that's what you've been calling it.
I do call it that.
But
Instead of the
did
Super
I lose
Bowl,
to the number 12 seed? Yes, but I was also the 9 seed. So
I'm the 11 seed, and I beat the 6.
you beat the 10.
Oh, I thought he was better.
No, he had one more win than you did.
He had
Maybe two.
more. He had
Oh, 2 more wins. I still had more wins than him. I deserved to lose, though. I had a bad year.
And he started Aaron Rodgers.
I did because my fantasy quarterbacks for this week: Geno Smith, Trevor Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers. Geno Smith and Trevor Lawrence are taking on the top 2 defenses in the league. Aaron Rodgers is taking on an Aaron Donald-less Rams defense. Also, a Jalen Ramsey who gets burnt day in and day out all year long. So I was feeling good about it. Plus, Christian Watson was getting like 2 touchdowns a game, and every time Aaron Rodgers throws to Christian Watson for a touchdown, it helps him out too. So I was like, I should be good here. Like, even if he just gets me like his average of like around 20-ish points, and like Robert Tonyan, who I also started over Noah Fant, which was another mistake, then maybe I can win there. But my Packers underperformed for me, and I took the L. But I'm not too upset about it because it's just it was a bad season.
Yeah, that sucks for you.
It does.
I'm still competitive and not a loser.
I'm rooting for Ty, the guy who I lost to 2-12. I'm rooting for him to go all the way in the consolation bracket and beat you.
am not. So that's our fantasy football.
That's our fantasy
stand.
topic week that nobody asked for.
Yep. By the way, Trevor Lawrence in our league got 37 points.
And Rodgers got me
12.
14, I think. 12, yeah.
and a half points.
Yep.
And he needed 4 points to beat the guy he was playing, and Geno Smith had those 4 points.
Barely, but yes.
I
do stand by benching Geno, though.
It makes sense.
Trevor Lawrence, okay, my thinking behind Trevor Lawrence, though, is he had that big game. I think he had 30 points, fantasy points, when they played the Chargers. And I was like, oh, Trevor Lawrence, he's here. And then I started him, and he promptly put up like 8.
Probably.
And I was like, well, crap. And so this time I was like, I'm not falling for that this time.
You fell for
I'm big brain. I'm not going to start Trevor Lawrence after he put up 40 points.
Small brain.
I said, that's what I'm going to do. And then, I just explained my reasoning on my quarterbacks, and I was like, oh, Lawrence, heck, you were saying on last week's show, you don't trust the Jaguars or Trevor Lawrence, especially against the Cowboys. And then he promptly puts up 37.
Yeah, he beat the Cowboys. He definitely beat the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm. It also helped when Noah Brown in overtime didn't catch a great throw from Dak, and it got picked off.
That was really
Dak
funny.
was catching a lot of heat. He was like, oh, he can't beat him. But that was a great throw from Prescott to Noah Brown, like on the move in a tight window, and Brown just botched it.
Yeah, I think they interviewed Brown afterwards, and he said that before the game, he was putting his hands all over just warm butter the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. At halftime, he went into the locker room and needed to reapply,
and he only had like the 3rd worst finish of anyone this week.
Yeah.
I mean, we witnessed history, biggest comeback ever.
Yeah, by Perk Thuggins.
He has 2 of the biggest comebacks of all time now. Because when he was at the Redskins, he was down 24-0 to the Bucs back in 2015. Won that game 31-30. So he's the owner of 2 of the biggest comebacks of all time now, and Matt Ryan is the owner of the biggest blown lead in a regular season game,
And in a Super Bowl.
in a Super Bowl, in a conference title game, and in an international game.
Dang.
So he kind of just he has his spot, he has his territory, and nobody's going to be encroaching on it.
I beg to differ. I feel like some people, especially in the league that we have today, could be coming for that.
This has been the year of comebacks. I mean, we've seen I feel like at least once a week, especially when it's a Raiders game involved, but even if it's not, we see like a 17-point comeback every week. Like literally no lead is safe. A 33-point lead is not safe.
It's Matt Ryan.
It is not over until it's over.
Until the fat lady sings.
Until the fat lady sings. And that's always been true in the NFL, but like especially this season.
And it's teaching me bad habits because I get like super excited. Like even like when someone's down, I'm like they could totally win because like the Ravens had 17-point leads 3 times and lost them.
The Ravens and the Raiders. I mean, even on Monday Night Football, the Packers were, really dominating the Rams at all phases. They're up by, I think, 12 or something like that. And I'm like, okay, guys, let's not let our foot off the gas. Just the way this season has been going, and especially, heck, Baker Mayfield orchestrated one of those comebacks against the Raiders just a couple weeks ago. And is like, it doesn't even matter who it is because Kirk Cousins is having a down year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his stats are down and whatnot, but he led that great comeback. So, like, it's like anybody can lead any kind of a comeback at any given time.
Is that his 3rd straight game with over 400 yards?
I know it's his 2nd. I don't.
You know what's funny?
I don't know if it's.
I heard the commentators. They were like talking about it. They were like, "Well, he had. I think it is 3 because they were talking about it. He had 2 games that were over 400 yards, and I don't see that happening today unless he really picks things up. And then he really picked things up. He got 460 yards, and threw for 4 of them hoes, 4 touchdowns. In like, they were down. They were still down like 20-something points in the 3rd.
No, he only threw for 173 yards against the Jets. So it was only 2 games in a row he had 400 yards.
Maybe in the last 4 weeks or something before that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe that was like this season or something.
Yeah, maybe. But still, bruh, imagine if he was playing like that the entire game. He would have hung like a 60 piece on them.
Oh yeah,
and he would have probably had close to like 900 yards.
Well, the kind of ironic thing with that game, other than Matt Ryan was the quarterback, was
that's ironic.
The largest comeback in NFL history before was in the playoffs back in, it was the early 90s. Frank Wright was backup quarterback for the Bills, and he was starting a playoff game for him against the Houston Oilers. And he led, I think it was a 31-point comeback against them, and that was the biggest comeback in NFL history. Well, you fast forward to now, Frank Wright was hired as the Colts head coach in 2018.
Oh.
They fired him back in week 6, I think it was, of this year.
That's good.
And now the Colts are the team on the wrong side of history.
Yep.
That's what you get for firing Frank Wright.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wacky stuff that happens like that in the NFL. Like Brock Purdy had 199 yards against Tom Brady, and Tom Brady was the 199th pick in the draft. It's a bunch of weird stuff like that happens. I guess you can just find it anywhere because like there's so many games and so many statistics going on.
There's literally just, when the league's been around for 100 years, like,
yeah, you can put it
and
with
it's
anything,
as many players as there are and as many numbers as there are. Anything can mean anything.
Yeah, but the Brock Purdy one's cool, I think, because that's 199 yards that he had his first game ever starting against the GOAT, who was picked 199th overall, and he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's cool.
The new GOAT.
The new GOAT.
Do you think Brock Purdy's for real, or do you think he's another Cooper Rush situation?
I hope he's not like Cooper Rush, because Cooper Rush decided to suck at his last game and a half. And
I think he's for real.
I think he is too. And I think he has a good coach to train him to be better, because I think that's what Trevor Lawrence could have been. Or he still can be. Trevor Lawrence has a lot of...
He aspires to be Brock Purdy.
No, like the situation where he's like a lot of talent and a lot of... like there's a lot of smart plays that Brock Purdy has.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that you would think somebody who's been doing it for a long time would do. And then he does some things that are like ridiculous. Like he did the wrong side for a handoff for a run.
Yeah, for like one of his first ever NFL plays.
It was kind of funny.
Became a big meme, and then all of a sudden he was starting 2 weeks later.
All of a sudden, he's slanging it on the GOAT.
He looks better than Cooper Rush looked earlier this season, I would say.
Way better.
I've seen a lot of people like, It's fun with Purdy and all, but it's just another Cooper Rush situation. I was like, I don't know. Like everyone could kind of tell that Cooper Rush was.
It was fragile.
Yeah, that he had that great ground game and whatnot. Granted, Brock Purdy has a great ground game, and he's in like the best offensive scheme in the NFL, really. So
that or the Eagles,
he could just be a product of that system there. His is more quarterback friendly, though, I would say.
Yeah.
You can plug and play pretty much anybody into the 49er system there, and so maybe he is just a product of the system, but he at least looks better than Cooper Rush, and will either be a really good backup for them. I think he's going to be starting their season next year as a backup just because of Trey Lance and how much they have invested in him. But if for whatever reason Trey Lance doesn't work out in the Bay, could Brock Purdy be the future? I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but
was this Trey Lance's first year?
It was his second year. He only played 2 games last year though, because he was behind Garoppolo, and then he comes out this year and then breaks his ankle, I think it was, in week 2. So like he's played like 4 games.
Was he doing good the first game?
He's had his ups and his downs. He's been compared a lot to Josh Allen, where like he's a very raw talent, went to a small school out of North Dakota State, and it just is going to take some time to hone his skills, because it took Josh Allen 2 years before he became a good quarterback.
Yeah, and he still has his troubles because he has like injuries.
Yeah, but if you're San Francisco, you can't give up on Trey Lance, though. It's been like he's played 4 games. So
you know what, though? I don't want him to play. I want Brock to play. I think Brock's going to do good. And
Trey Lance has a lot more potential, though.
Really? You think?
Yeah. I think he's got a bigger arm. He's a lot more of a threat on the ground. Like, Purdy can run if he needs to, but, like, Lance can gash a defense. I still remember the 2018 playoffs he did against the Bobcats, Montana State. Just running all over him.
Bummer.
It was not fun. Anyway, the 49ers.
Well, I hope Purdy goes somewhere that they want him then, or that they use him to start. Because I don't like him as a backup. I'd rather have him. I like seeing him play, and he's a funny dude.
Brock Purdy is like your Gardner Minshew for me.
Yeah.
Because Gardner Minshew, he's kind of been my guy. He was down in Jacksonville. He played great on an awful Jaguars team. But because they had a chance to get Trevor Lawrence, which it's Trevor Lawrence. He's like one of the best high school quarterbacks ever, one of the best college quarterbacks ever. Like, so much hype for him, even going back to his high school days of him being an NFL prospect. And so, like, I understand you going after Trevor Lawrence instead of Minshew, but I think Minshew, if he plays this week, which I think he's going to for the Eagles, I think he deserves to be a starter somewhere. Give him a shot somewhere, because
there are worse quarterbacks in the NFL starting right now.
Mm-hmm, I think he's a very good backup, or he could be like the 15th best quarterback in the league. I don't think he's going to be some crazy Hall of Famer or anything, but kind of like you with Brock Purdy, I think he could definitely be a starting quarterback.
I like Brock, and I think he has a lot of potential.
You should get a Brock jersey, and I'll get a Minshew jersey.
Well, yeah, but Brock's only played 2 games, so I don't know where he's going in this whole thing. So
yeah, watch him just be like awful the rest of his career, and you're like, yeah, I got this Brock Purdy jersey.
Yeah, I want
I spent $130 on this.
If I'm gonna get a Brock Purdy jersey, I want $256 on it though.
Oh, you want the Mr. Irrelevant one?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
I'll probably get a Minshew jersey at some time, just because like his Jaguars jerseys are, nowhere near as expensive as they used to be since he's not on the team anymore.
Yeah, because they got to get rid of him.
And you know what? He just fit Jacksonville so well too, like with the mustache, and like he was like the Chuck Norris of the NFL, and it just fit Jacksonville really well.
And now there's a long-haired dude in there.
I think he fits Philadelphia well too, but they have an MVP candidate at quarterback, so. He's not going to be getting a shot there.
Yeah. And on to standings. Where do we stand?
Okay, so for our draft picks of the week, and if you're new here, we draft games as if they are positions, our categories or positions, whatever you want to call them. Game of the week, blowout of the week, upset of the week, fantasy player, and lowest scoring game. Game of the week, you took this one. I went Niners Seahawks. Did not live up to any hype that I had gave it on the last episode. Bills Dolphins was a snowy classic. And so you're getting that one.
I was watching that at the gym, and I stopped working out to watch the last 5 minutes.
Dude, that was beautiful. Like the snow comes down with about 10 minutes left in the game. Like it was like a movie.
Yeah, and then they kicked that field goal.
Yeah,
They
it
have a lot
was
of
a great game.
The Bills have a lot of trauma with field goals,
Yep.
and so
did the Vikings. I was half expecting the Vikings to miss that field goal. Like that would be the biggest Vikings thing ever if they tie the game, force overtime, almost have the biggest comeback ever, and then lose. Because the Vikings won the toss in overtime, and then they had to punt. And I was like, oh, no, Minnesota.
Almost the biggest
Wouldn't that be a
comeback of all
darn
time.
shame?
Yeah.
But they did complete the comeback. You get that point.
Swell game. Really fun game.
Speaking of the Vikings, you picked them in your blowout of the week. And
Didn't happen.
They did end up winning that game, which, by halftime, I've learned, especially this season, we talked about all the comebacks and whatnot, but I've learned not to text people or anything like in the middle of a game about like the results because it's not over. And I almost did that for the Colts game. Heck, we were talking about that game.
Yeah, we were texting while it was happening.
I was watching that game at halftime, 33-0, and I was like, this is huge for Jeff Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they can keep this up and if they win 40-10 or whatever, like he may have locked himself in for this job next season.
But he didn't.
I don't think there's any way, unless the Colts win out or do something miraculous, that he's coaching next year for the Colts.
Definitely shouldn't
after
be.
that game. He is someone who, like, you're the coach of the team that just blew the biggest lead ever. You're not coming back. Which I guess there were low expectations for you coming in since you were the interim coach and all that, and you've never coached on the NFL level before, but
he beat the Raiders.
You can't be coming back. Yeah, the Raiders are the only team to lose to the ESPN
Raiders
analysts.
suck, and then
He did beat them. I'd be surprised if the Colts win another game this season. That's the kind of game that I don't know. That's going to be living with them for a very long time.
Perk Thuggins just walked all over your team.
He did.
And Jay Jett is.
Blowout of the week, I went Eagles over Bears, which another game that wasn't a blowout, but 5-point lead or 5-point win is more of a blowout than a 3-point win. So I got that point.
Yeah, it is.
Upset of the week, I went Raiders over Patriots, and Jacoby Myers made sure that I got that.
He really, really did.
W for me. And then your quote-unquote upset of the week was Lions over Jets. Zach Wilson's Jets.
Oh, I'm so good at this game.
So good at this game. So you got that point there. Fantasy player of the week, Tony Pollard got me 14. Jamar Chase, he had a quiet day, but that touchdown at the end got it for you. He got 19.
Okay, Jizzy.
And then lowest scoring game, I went Broncos Cardinals because that had 6-3 written all over it, but instead the Broncos offense moved the ball. Okay. And then you went Ravens Browns, a total of 16 points there. That's a W for you.
Big
that
old
puts
fat
our
one.
standings. You're getting a little closer. I got 30. You got 25.
Hey, you can feel good about these for now.
Yeah.
But let's get to the part where you don't feel good.
Well, I mean, I'm not feeling good about you catching up to me on that either. But for our pick'ems of the week, it was actually really close. I went 11-5. You went 12-4.
How am I still outing you by like I haven't been less than you in like 4 weeks.
Yeah, let's see. Last week, you got one more win than I did. The week before, you got 3 more. The week before, you got 3 more. The week before, you got 1 more. I have to go back to week 10. I went 7-7, and you went 6-8.
All right.
It's been a minute since I've beat you. I've gotten close to you the last couple weeks, though.
You are creeping in.
But that I should stay above 500 for the rest of the season, though. I'm 117, 106, and 2. So just over 500. You're 134, 88, and 2, though.
88. I got.
So you're trying to stay under 500 for losses. You had 4 this week, which is about as much as you can afford per week.
That is the exact amount I could afford because there is 3 weeks left, and I can get 4 each week to make it 100. So I need to get 3 one of those weeks.
You have to do some really good picking.
I really do.
That's tough to go 12-4, 12-4, 13-3.
Hey, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy going 12-4 this first week.
Oh yeah, that's a great start there.
I'm kind of scared and nervous now, but. Yeah.
Did we have a fun draft this week? Do we want to do like a Christmas fun draft or something?
Yeah, let's go Christmas fun draft. What's your first?
just a Christmas in general. How about that? Just
sure.
Christmas things.
Go ahead. Take it away. You can start.
Take it away.
Yep.
With the first pick, I'm gonna take Jesus.
Okay. Yeah.
The reason for the season.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of a jerk move to to do that. I wasn't gonna do it to you.
Well, that's because you didn't have the first pick. I did.
Well, no, but
Thank you for giving me the first pick, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking you're gonna go Christmas trees or football or whatever. Okay. I see how we're playing. You're gonna go Jesus. I'm gonna go Santa.
That's what I was thinking. But I was like, I feel like that'd be blasphemous to take Santa over Jesus. So.
You're so stupid. I hate you.
Okay, we'll go snake. What are you taking in the
I'll
second
take
round?
presents.
Presents. All right, I'm gonna take Christmas trees.
Okay. You can have presents without a Christmas tree.
Yeah, you have Christmas tree without presents.
You
It's just sad.
You can. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I think
Let's see. Where do I go?
I think taking Jesus is kind of like you can't do that. It's like taking water in a beverage draft.
I just took it.
Okay.
Third round.
Nothing
pick.
against Jesus. I mean, I like Jesus. I love Jesus, but like, you know what I'm saying. Though. You guys understand, right?
I'm gonna take Christmas music.
Okay.
It's a big part of just like the vibe of Christmas.
But you know what song you thought of when you said that, though. Everyone else thought of it too.
What song was I thinking of?
No, go ahead and tell it.
No,
Start
you tell
singing
me.
it.
You tell me.
Yeah, all I want for I want you for Christmas, all of it.
That was not what I
were you
didn't
thinking?
have a specific song in mind, but
Well, when you said it, it made me think of that, and I don't like that.
well, I mean that's one of the hundreds of songs that come with my third round pick.
Yeah, but also that's the only song that goes to the very top of the charts every year, and she makes almost $1 million every year from just.
Give me freaking Jingle Bells by some no-name band that has 30 monthly listeners on Spotify that just released a Christmas.
Okay, you don't have to be so specific. Oh my goodness, it's okay, it's over. You lost.
Jingle Bells instrumental.
Jingle Bells instrumental. All right, I'm gonna take Christmas food because
that's good.
I think second to Thanksgiving, it has the best food for a holiday.
What for you is Christmas food? Is that like ham? Is that?
I think Christmas
pie?
food, you can have anything that you have at Thanksgiving, but I think having a turkey there is, I mean, if you want a turkey there, but that's more of a Thanksgiving food.
Does this include gingerbread houses?
Yes.
Gingerbread. Okay, yeah, that's the big thing it's got over Thanksgiving, I would say.
Yeah, I think gingerbread houses, there's a lot more festivity sweets, I would say, because for Thanksgiving there's like pies. That's it for sweets. I mean, I guess there's like sweet potato casserole. I can't really think of other sweets for Thanksgiving, but there's a lot of stuff for Christmas. There's cookies, there's hot chocolate, there's pies, there's cake. You know, whatever you want.
Where are you going to go in the fourth?
Oh man, I don't know. You know what? Snow on Christmas Day. I'm gonna go a nice snow on a Christmas Day because, like, when it's Christmas and you look outside and there's like muddy snow and there's like footprints everywhere and it's just like a dreary day.
But like a fresh snow, but the sun is out too at the same time.
Yeah, it's a little bit shiny. There's some sun. There's some flakes coming down. I'm gonna take that.
Okay, in the fourth round, I'm gonna take Christmas lights.
Yeah,
you know, you can do even just like simple stuff on the wall. You got your lights on the tree, and then you got the people who just go all out every year.
It's so fun that I haven't done this in a while, but when I was a kid, like to go down Main Street or to go down the side roads where all the houses are and just look at all the houses that are really cool and all the lights and stuff. Yeah.
And then this fifth round pick, end of the draft, I'm kind of just taking him, not because I've scouted him, but I've heard he's good and he's a classic. He's a staple for a lot of people. I'm taking the NBA.
The
NBA that is their day. The NFL's kind of trying to take it. They got 3 games coming up this year on Christmas, but the NBA, they have 5 games on Christmas for sure. I think they normally have that. You know, the NFL kind of has Thanksgiving as their holiday, but the NBA kind of owns Christmas in terms of sports and whatnot, and so I'm going to take them.
Yeah, especially since the NFL has 3 bad games.
Yeah, they gave us Rams Broncos,
Packers Dolphins,
Cardinals,
Bucks Cardinals.
Yeah,
so it's not the best schedule.
I will be watching the NFL though instead of the NBA.
I don't really like the NBA, so
I don't care for it. That's what I'm saying though. I've heard he's very good and popular and a staple of the sport.
Yeah, I'm gonna take in this last round for me. I'm gonna take. It's not fellowship. That's not the word. But like, it's a different thing. That's just what came to mind. Just being with family and friends and having a good time.
That's a good pick.
Kind
of just hanging out, playing card games or whatever,
or in jammies, or if you do that, you know,
Whatever your
Christmas.
Did you just say Christmas tradition as your 5th round pick?
No.
Okay.
Christmas tradition. I'm taking in the 5th round pick as a steal. Sucks to suck.
I cannot believe Christmas Eve just went undrafted.
Screw Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve is fun.
All right, I'll take Christmas
I mean,
Eve.
I don't do anything crazy. Do you do like the opening up presents on Christmas Eve or whatever?
No, that's beta stuff.
It is like you just wait 12 more hours.
Yeah,
Come
you're,
on, man.
you're a beta if you do that.
You are. Do you open the stockings before presents?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
but
what
on
I do
the same
too.
day.
Yeah, exactly.
You
That's
come upstairs.
Christmas. Like that's like 8:30 in the morning. Where like presents, that's like a 10:30 activity.
Yeah, you come upstairs. You open your. I traditionally.
That's right. I forgot you lived underground.
Well, okay. I'm in the daylight basement. Whatever.
That's underground.
I'm not underground.
Yes, you are under the ground.
My bed is above ground level. It elevates
you
me.
are like on the ground.
I'd be laying on the ground if.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm laying on the ground. So I get up off the ground. I go upstairs. We all grab our stockings.
I clean my boots off.
Clean my boots off. Yeah. I scrape all the snow and dirt off, and we all sit on the couch with our stockings, and we go youngest to oldest.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then we'll do the same thing for presents, and then we'll be antisocial and play video games.
Nice.
No, we usually just like eat food or whatever
Yeah, just chill.
whatever happens. Yeah.
Yep, whatever happens.
Depends on if we have like other family over or friends or whatever.
or if it's just immediate family.
So
Cool
I'm
stuff.
taking that, all of what I just
You're
said.
taking
in the fifth-
you're taking all of Christmas with your 5th round pick.
I'm
What
taking
a steal!
everything that wasn't
What a
said
value.
before. Yeah. On to more NFL, because that's what you guys are here for if you are here, but I don't think you are.
Hello.
There's no one here. Yeah, next week.
I had someone DM me on Instagram. I was like, "Is this your podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they said, "I'll check it out." I said, "Heck yeah."
Probably checked out the first episode, which was not a good idea.
Well, I think they probably checked out the last week's episode because that's the one I had linked on my Instagram.
Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff indeed.
Thanks if you're here, random Instagram person.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. I have DM'd you several times on Instagram. We've talked, and I do not know your name off the top of my head. Please forgive me. I'm sorry.
NFL time.
NFL time. Frick. I think I had the first pick last week because I think I took the Broncos Cardinals with my first pick.
Mm-hmm.
So you get first pick this week.
I do get first pick. This is... It always kind of bugs me out when I first come into looking at it, because I'm like...
Because you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, because I never like draft ahead of time. Like
I do, and it actually does work for me. It's just the pick'ems that don't work for me.
Yeah. Do you draft your pick'ems ahead of time?
Sometimes I'll like hop on Yahoo Sports or whatever and do them. I didn't do it this time though.
Okay.
Like half the time I do.
Before you take it, I'm taking lowest scoring game at Broncos Rams. Rams
Darn
are
you.
just awful, and Broncos are worse. So I think
Christmas special guaranteed.
Christmas special of 3-3,
Mm-hmm.
tied into overtime.
Well, unless the Broncos actually kind of move the ball. I don't know if Russell Wilson is playing or not. I think he's going to.
Well, that's a bad thing for them.
I don't think it really matters, especially if he plays like he did against the Chiefs, like watchable, you know?
He almost slaughtered the Chiefs, dude. That was
And then
crazy.
which version of Baker Mayfield are we getting? Are we getting Baker Mayfield against the Raiders, or are we getting Baker Mayfield against the Packers?
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up there for the game that we're going to see.
I think Denver will probably win that by probably like a 13-3 kind of score, just because I think that defense is going to have their way with the Rams offense, and
yeah.
I think the Broncos offense is going to do just enough to win.
Barely.
The Rams are are officially eliminated from playoff contention as well.
Yep.
Becoming the first team since the 2015 Broncos to miss the playoffs after winning the Super Bowl. Except that Broncos team barely missed the playoffs. This Rams team,
Super missed the...
they missed it. They were like the third or fourth team eliminated.
Yep.
I think the only other teams in front of them were the Bears and the Texans. That's
Which are-
rough.
That is rough to be behind those two.
Lowest scoring game. I'm going to stick with Christmas. Give me Bucks Cardinals.
Okay.
I think that might be another might be like a 16-13. I don't think it's going to be lower scoring than the Broncos Rams because that was top of my board. But Colt McCoy, Tom Brady, who is old and struggling, Tampa Bay with their worst run game in franchise history, I believe. Of course, I happen to have two Buccaneers running backs on my fantasy team for a good chunk of the season. L. If you're wondering how I went 6-8. But yeah, that's what I got. Bucks Cardinals.
Okay. Who's your player of the week?
I don't know. I'm not going there.
Please go there.
No.
Why not?
Do you have your guy that you want there?
No, that's not.
All right, I'm gonna go game of the week.
Okay.
Give me Eagles Cowboys. Even with Gardner Minshew in there, I think this is going to be a competitive game. It's a huge game in the East. If the Eagles win it, they basically lock up their division. Not mathematically, but like that probably locks it up for them.
Especially since the Cowboys would be the ones that they beat.
Exactly. If the Cowboys win, the Eagles will probably still win the division, but it definitely helps the Cowboys' chances there.
Yeah, it could turn around. The Cowboys could. I'm not saying the Cowboys will, but I think they could.
They have the talent to, but it's just they don't always show said talent.
Some of their talent just kind of like leaks out of
like
their ear with brain fluid, and they're just kind of
like they destroyed a pretty good team like the Vikings by 37 points, but then they have the games like against the Packers and against the Texans, which they almost lost, against the Jaguars, where it's like, what happened to that team that looked really complete? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't love most of these games for game of the week.
That's why I went ahead and took it.
Yeah, that was a smart pick.
Thank you.
I had my way with lowest scoring though. That was
You
the
did.
best for the lowest scoring. I think that was the best for game of the week. But you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go Bills Bears. And
Okay, yeah, that's a sneaky good pick.
Justin Fields is back, right?
Yep, he played last week. He is, I don't know if he's on pace to break it, but he could break the rushing record for a quarterback, which I think Lamar has it. He got it a few years ago with 1,200 yards,
Which is crazy.
especially for a quarterback.
Yeah, because a lot of running backs don't get that.
Yeah, and so Justin Fields, I can check how many rushing yards he's at right now, but he's been running like crazy. Him and Jalen Hurts, I think we said this last episode, but they're like the same guy. Just one's on a great team and one is not. Justin Fields has exactly 1,000 rushing yards and 8 rushing touchdowns.
He got a couple more games to get that 200.
Mm-hmm. So he'll probably be like 270 or something like that. I don't know exactly, but
I hope he beats it. I hope he gets it.
I think, if the Bears are going to accomplish something this season, I mean, you might as well,
Yeah, with your best player.
Go 3-14, but also, your quarterback is one of the best rushing quarterbacks of all time already. And I think the NFC North is going to be really fun next season because you got the Bears, who I think if they can put some weapons around Justin Fields and upgrade that defense, they're going to be fun. The Vikings are a playoff team right now, regardless of how fraudulent we may think they are or not. The Lions have won, I think, 6 of their last 7 right now, and I think they're just going to get better in the offseason. And then I think the Packers, it depends on their offseason, who their quarterback is, how said quarterback plays next year, and what kind of help they get around said quarterback. But I think that they're going to be at least competitive next year. So I think the NFC North could be a very fun division in 2023.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'm excited for these young quarterbacks. Like, not even. I'm not talking about like man, I'm blanking on names, but
You are
like
like Trevor Lawrence,
Trevor Lawrence. I guess I wasn't really talking about him.
Justin Fields. We were talking about the Bears.
Yeah, I don't know.
Brock Purdy.
I don't know, man. I'm just
Okay.
you went game of the week. It's my turn for game
It
of the
is
week.
your turn.
You
chose your
Bills
game of the week.
Bears.
That's a good pick. I didn't make my draft board, but I did think about it.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm gonna go player of the week, and I'm gonna take. Man, am I gonna go player of the week?
That's what you said.
I am gonna go player of the week. Then I said that. I will go.
The draft clock is ticking down.
I'm sorry. I'll go Patrick Mahomes for player of the week.
Good, safe option. Even in an almost loss to the Texans, he put up 37.
Yeah.
Going against the Seahawks, who have kind of fallen off at the end of the year. They were a fun story for a while with Geno, and then they went to Germany, and things haven't been the same.
Yep. The Germans always be messing stuff up.
They really do be doing that. And
Do we do?
the Seahawks had a good defense for a little bit there. Maybe not good, but it was better than it was at the beginning of the season, and now it's back to where it was at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Derrick Henry
Okay.
against the Texans.
That's a fair pick.
See if he can get another 200-yard game. I could also see this game going the other way, where the Texans have played their last two opponents who are much better than them very close, and the Titans have lost 3 in a row now, I think. Something like that. They've lost a good number in a row now. And on a cold streak, cold streak versus almost hot streak with the Texans. I think the Texans are better than their record. They're more of, a 3-win team than a 1-win team, which isn't saying a lot, but I think they can make this game a little bit more competitive, and maybe they get the win, but I don't think they win. I think Derrick Henry's going to have his way, even if they just give it to him. Just give it to Derrick Henry every play. Don't even try anything else, because he owns them.
They lost their last 4 games.
Yeah, and it would have been 7, I think, if the Packers had beat them, because the week before that they lost to the Chiefs.
Sucks
So
to suck.
they've lost 6 of the last 7 now, I think, or something like that, or 5 of their last 6. So it's that's rough for Tennessee, and this is a good game for them to try to get back on track and try to avoid Jacksonville stealing this division from them, which I want to happen because they're a much more fun team. Why are you doing this to me?
What am I doing?
For those of you on Spotify, John is pulling the little thing on the chair that makes it go down, and now I'm lower. And it's to make himself feel better about himself because he's an average beta male, 5'9".
Yeah. Okay. It's your turn again for another pick.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Where do I go here? I can go biggest blowout.
You could.
I could go upset of the week.
You could.
And I'm gonna go
Both of those are
for.
true.
Let's see. I'm looking at my board. What
You
do
are
I
looking
want?
at it, and you are stalling a lot.
I am stalling a lot.
trying to fill dead airtime, and no
Give
one
me
wants
the
to listen
49ers over the Commanders for blowout of the week.
Yeah, it was mine.
The Commanders are a solid team, but that loss against the Giants, even with the bull crap at the end there, is a little bit deflating, and I think San Francisco is just a better team. I think it almost feels like they're like a wannabe San Francisco. Like Curtis Samuel is their Debo Samuel, is like a wide receiver who they'll sometimes run the ball with. Also has the same last name. And they got a pretty solid defense, but San Francisco's just bigger and better, and I think they're going to have their way.
Yeah. That catch was definitely in bounds at the end there. That touchdown.
Which one?
The one where his foot was halfway out.
Oh, that was the Raiders game.
Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
No, the end of this game, the Commanders Giants was pass interference all over the receiver, and they did not call it.
that.
And then also, I think it was the play before, Terry McLaurin, the receiver, he checked with the referee to make sure he was set, and then he was like, okay, and then they flagged him for not being set, even though the ref said he was, and then threw the flag. It's like, what the frick is going on here, ref?
Yeah, we should just have no refs.
Yeah, they got screwed by the refs at the end of that game.
The refs suck a lot of the time.
Yep, welcome to being a football fan.
I hate that. It's the worst.
They got to fix this. It feels like it is like worse this season though. But
yeah, especially because of like the roughing the passer calls.
Yeah, there got to be some changes coming this year, especially the roughing the passer, and maybe to some of this other stuff. I don't know. They tried fixing pass interference. You could challenge it for one season, and that was just a mess. So then they took that away.
They just challenged every.
Yeah, I don't. It was this whole thing, and I mean they got to find something. Like the refs, they can't keep getting away with this.
They can't keep getting away with this.
Where are you going for biggest blowout of the week?
Biggest blowout. You know what? The Lions are playing good.
Mm-hmm.
And the Panthers are actually playing a lot better than I thought they would be without McCaffrey.
But they just lost to the Steelers.
But then they got pounded by the Steelers. Yeah,
I wouldn't say they got pounded, but like they lost them.
Booty cheeked.
I think wasn't it like 24-16?
It was 24-16. But I didn't watch that game because I didn't have any interest in it
Same.
Because it felt boring to me, and I didn't.
I watched Najee Harris score a touchdown, and it was the only play I saw from that game.
I didn't see anything of it. I didn't even know they played. But I'm taking Lions over Panthers and a huge win because the Lions are still one of the most highly scoring offenses in the league.
And their defense has stepped up to be more mid, which is better than it used to be.
Yeah, their defense has stepped up to be less terrible than it was.
Yep.
And they're fifth right now in points overall scoring still. Kansas City is number 1. I didn't know that. They just passed the Eagles. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think they pound the Panthers just hardcore.
Keep pounding.
What?
That's the Panthers catchphrase. Keep pounding. And that's what the Lions are going to keep doing.
What?
Keep pounding.
That's so
You
stupid.
you got to say it like that too.
That's so dumb. So my last category is one of them.
It would be the upset of the week.
It would be that, yeah. I really don't want the Patriots to beat the Bengals, but I think that I don't know.
You just made me throw up a little bit by saying that.
I really don't want that to happen because I'm a Bengals fan currently.
You are. You're still you've been a Bengals fan for a while. I guess it's not a curse anymore.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Watch you become a Patriots fan.
Oh, I would.
You'd have to kill yourself.
That would have to happen.
That would warrant that kind of a situation.
Yeah.
Especially after last week.
I don't want to talk about it. And they're in the same division as the Bills, so I can't really. I'm not going with that. Screw that. Who's the favorite in the Raiders-Steelers game?
I believe the Steelers are slight favorites. Let me take a look.
See, I'm taking all these ones that are slightly different.
Both teams are 6-8. Steelers are 3-point favorites, which is just home field advantage.
Okay, I'll take Raiders.
I was going to do that just because you pulled that bull crap last week.
Yeah, but
the Raiders are a better team and everybody knows it.
I'm trying to stay above.
I think the Steelers could win.
I'm trying to stay above 100 wrong guesses for pick'ems, and
this isn't pick'ems. This is the draft.
Well, yes, but look, if I pick this now, and this because I do have to, pick
I guess
an
you
upset
might
of the
as well
week.
double down on it.
I do have to pick an upset of the week, and I do have to pick a
this game
pick'ems, and this game right here, I believe, is gonna go to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what is safe for me. I can't get 12. I can't get 12 wrong. I have to stay 11 or less wrong.
Yep.
In my pick'ems. So I had to keep it tight, and that's what's keeping it tight. I don't want to get a real big upset because like going Patriots over Bengals, that's some bull crap. If that happens,
yeah, the Patriots are like just an undercover bad team.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that.
All right. Upset of the week. Kind of, before this week, when I was doing like, playoff predictions or whatnot, and like just kind of picking games in the future out for fun, I'd be like, oh, Chargers, Colts. Like I could see the Colts winning this game. But after this week, I already said, I don't know if the Colts are going to win another game this season.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just, that kind of a loss is so deflating. So I'm not going to pick Colts over Chargers. Plus the Chargers are playing pretty hot right now. So upset of the week. I was going to go Raiders-Steelers. You took that. So I'm going to pick what I want to see, and that's Packers over Dolphins on Christmas. Because my only other option that I had for my draft board, at least, was Falcons over Ravens. And it's like, I don't know about that. I could see it, especially depending on Lamar's situation, but I'm going to go Packers-Dolphins just because that's what I want to see. So
you know what I could see? I could see Jags over Jets.
I don't think that's an upset, though, is it?
Is it not? Because the Jags have a worse record.
Jets are 1-point favorites, so like basically it's neutral, if not in favor of Jacksonville.
Yeah, so it's 6-8 to 7-7. So,
but the Jags are on a big hot streak. While the Jets have lost 4 out of 5.
Yeah, and they're benching their future right now because he's hurt.
Mm-hmm. Mike White, the future.
Future of that franchise.
Maybe.
I think it's better than Zach.
I think he's better than Zach Wilson. I don't think he'll be. We'll see if he's there next year. He's a free agent this season. So
really?
We'll see how much he demands from them. But a lot of people think the Jets are going to get some kind of veteran, whether it's a Jimmy Garoppolo or a Derek Carr or some a top 15 quarterback.
Or Aaron Rodgers.
Because that's all they need to be really competitive is that quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, if we'll see what happens in Green Bay if Jordan Love is the future there, or there's talk if Aaron Rodgers comes back next year that Jordan Love wants to get traded, so maybe Jordan Love to the Jets. I don't know.
Hey, maybe they could be a good team then. He could join the ranks of Josh Allen and Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
And be one of those new quarterbacks who's just slanging the ball being a really good quarterback.
Yeah, I love how the perception of everybody from Jordan Love being a bad quarterback to a good quarterback has changed. Now he's thrown like 4 decent passes this season. And I've always been like on the upside for Jordan Love, like, hey, let's see what he's got. You know, he's got potential. And everyone was just killing the Packers. Oh, Jordan Love sucks and you drafted him, yada, yada, yada. He looks good in some games this year, which got me excited. I was, but now the media and, people on Instagram and crap like that are like, oh, Jordan Love could be really good. I was like, I said this in 2020, but okay.
I didn't know who he was until he started playing. So,
well, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying everybody else.
I hate Jordan Love.
Who he was in 2020.
Jordan Love is the worst player I've ever seen.
And that's saying a lot for someone who's going to be beating the Jets or beating the Bills twice a year in future seasons.
Don't like that.
17-0 Jets, baby. Okay, we got to move on to our pick'ems.
We do have to do that. Jags, Jets. What are we thinking?
This is a big, pre-playoff game almost, because this almost feels like a playoff game.
Yeah,
because the loser of this game isn't done for the year,
pretty much.
But it kind of feels like they are.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with the Jaguars. Zach Wilson is gonna be playing again. Jets on a short week. As far as I'm aware, Mike White has not been cleared to play. So,
yeah. I am realizing something interesting. I don't have to stick with you for all these picks anymore because I don't think I'll be losing to you picks-wise. Like, at the end of the year, I don't think I'll have less wins or more losses.
There's almost no way I catch you unless you really choke, and I do really well.
Yeah, so I can pick a lot separate from you, but
please,
I don't think I'll be doing that for this game at least. I do think Jacksonville will win because they've been doing good. And
if someone would have told you back in like August that Jaguars Jets would be like a big time game down at the end of the season, that would have been I would have said what?
You probably would have said what? Yeah.
I would have said what? And then now I'm looking at it, I was like, yeah, this is a big game.
Yeah, and apparently Zay Jones is a good receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of
former
cool.
Buffalo Bill.
Former
Buffalo Buff.
Former Loaf. Yeah. So Falcons.
Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens. I don't know the status of Lamar if he's coming back or not. But I'll take him anyway, because the Falcons. I mean, I actually didn't even watch the Falcons last year, last week, but
last year.
I don't watch them at all last year.
Yeah.
But they didn't. From what it sounded like, they weren't any better with Desmond Ridder at quarterback instead of Mariota.
You know what's funny? There's a couple teams I've never seen a whole game of, even like most of a game or half of it. I've never seen a whole game of the Falcons.
Name one player who's on the Falcons right now.
Kyle Pitts
isn't who I just named. Okay, there you go.
And he's a bust, and he sucks. But
that's because you took him in fantasy.
Yeah, I hate Kyle Pitts so much.
Where are you going in this game? Are you going to go with the upset or?
I'll go with the Ravens. I'll go with the Ravens. I think Justin Tucker is going to win this game again with another, ridiculously long field goal. This
could have been lowest scoring game of the week, honestly.
It could have been, yeah. Justin Tucker is out there saving the Ravens a lot. He didn't do it last week, though.
His kick got blocked.
Yeah, but he was the only one who put up points last week. So
he is.
Lions-Panthers. I'm going Lions in my big blowout.
I'm going Lions, but it's only a 10-point game.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because the Panthers have been kind of frisky. We'll see which Panthers team shows up, but
I think the Lions team will show up.
Yeah, I think the Lions they are hot right now.
I think a Lion beats a Panther.
Wear your oven mitts.
Yeah. Seahawks, Chiefs. I'm going Chiefs. I don't think they lose another game this year.
I would probably take that in my blowout of the week if you didn't take Mahomes.
Yeah. That could be a huge blowout, but it might not be.
Maybe Geno and company keep it close, but I don't know.
I don't think they keep it close enough to win.
Yeah.
Saints, Browns. It's just kind of a mid game. I'm going to go Browns, though.
This is one I thought about for lowest scoring game of the week. Yeah, I don't know. Give me Saints. Sure, why not?
Okay. Texans, Titans. You were saying the Titans
run them over with Derrick Henry.
Donkey stomp them, yeah.
Yes. At least Derrick Henry does.
I have to agree because Derrick Henry is it the Titans that he's got 200 points against every game or something?
I think 4 or 5 times now in his career he's run for 200 yards on him, which is like bonkers.
A lot of yards.
That is a lot.
That's why they
and
call
2
him the king.
touchdowns in all those games as well. He's the king of Houston, Texas.
Yep. One of the best running backs to do it.
Future Hall of Famer.
Guaranteed. Bengals, Patriots. Patriots stomp the Bengals.
No, I'm going Bengals.
Yeah.
And you're going Patriots?
I'm going Bengals, actually.
Oh, you're going for your team.
Going for my team.
W's.
So. Yeah, Giants, Vikings. This one.
I don't know how to feel about this game.
I was about to say. The Vikings, we all know they're frauds.
Even with that comeback. But I mean, they have the comeback, and they did it. They had a smaller comeback against the Bills earlier this year, one of the best teams in the league. They beat them in overtime. I'll go with the Vikings because they've been on the right side of all these types of games this season. But I think that I wouldn't be surprised if Big Blue gets a win.
We haven't seen the Vikings lose too much this year, and it's kind of hard to. For me, at least, it's kind of hard.
Whenever
to
they lose by like 10 or more. Do you think the Giants are going to do that?
That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't think the Giants are going to be doing that, and that doesn't mean that they're going to lose by 10 or more every time they lose.
Yeah,
obviously, but I just don't think the Lions can do it, or the Giants can do that to the Vikings, and I don't think they'll win, and the Vikings are going to take this one.
Okay, so we've gone the same for all but one game.
Bills-Bears.
Bills-Bears, give me Buffalo in what could be a little bit of a snowy game in the Windy City.
Yeah, and a bit of a running game, too, because Josh Allen with his hurt elbow needs to run a little bit more to suffice for that. And
that way he gets hit on the elbow?
Yeah, just like that, yeah. And
Justin Fields, one of the best running
Justin
quarterbacks
Fields,
in the
like
NFL.
we were talking about earlier, trying to break that record probably.
I think the Bears will keep this one a little bit close. I mean, that is kind of a rough schedule for them, going from playing the top seed in the NFC to the top seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
That's a little bit brutal, but...
They kept it close last week. They were within 5.
Yeah.
Of some might say the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool. I think
that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat
job, sport.
that Justin Fields can do that with almost no help.
Well, and the defense also got like 3 turnovers, which helps.
Almost no help on offense.
Yeah, he does have like high schoolers as his wide receivers though. So like
bummer.
If he gets some help on offense next year, like we were talking about, he could be scary.
That'd be pretty cool. Commanders, Niners. I think the Niners just
blow them out.
Have a field day.
Yes, please.
With a big
W.
Big Brock.
We're the Commanders.
The Commanders are gonna lose to Big
Brock.
There's another word in there, but it doesn't come out right now.
Came out last week.
It did. Eagles, Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Eagles.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But I think this is gonna be close. Cowboys are getting a lot of votes on Yahoo Sports, and they're also 4.5-point favorites.
Yeah, they are. I will take the Cowboys here.
I believe in the mustache.
I think it's about time the Eagles lose again. And who else? Who else to do it to them? Because the rest of their schedule is the Saints, and then they have who else? Let me see.
That's a really big game, honestly, if they beat the Saints, because they have the Saints draft pick.
Oh.
The Eagles are a top team in the league, and if the draft started right now, they'd be picking in the top 5. Definitely in the top 10.
Jeez,
because
man.
of the Saints.
Yeah, so they have the Saints and the Giants after.
I think the Giants could give them something. I also think they could be resting players that final week, depending on if they already have that 1 seed locked up, which they very well could.
Yeah.
But
so I'm taking Cowboys. Raiders, Steelers. I'm taking my Raiders in the upset.
Raiders?
My Raiders in the upset.
I'm gonna go Raiders as well.
Geez, just keep it real close, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Packers, Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are better than the Packers, and I think that
I think they are too.
I don't think they have much trouble with the Packers defense, honestly.
Yeah, that's my main concern is how on earth is the Packers defense going to stop the 3 fastest players in the league? And, as long as Tua can get it to him. The big thing is pressure. The Dolphins' offensive line hasn't been great since I think it's Armstead, their best offensive lineman, got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's been under a good amount of pressure. He's been getting sacked a lot and pressured a lot. I think that's the Packers' main way for defensively winning that game. And the Dolphins don't have a great defense to begin with, so the offense shouldn't really have trouble. Probably another like 200-yard, 2-touchdown game for Rodgers, and then 200 rushing yards between like Dillon and Jones.
Yeah,
like that.
that'd be sweet.
And then as long as the defense can get pressure, they sacked Baker Mayfield 5 times, forced a couple of turnovers from him. If they can do that against Tua, maybe we get a Christmas Day upset. Or maybe the Dolphins win a game they're supposed to. I mean, that's...
Yeah, a lot of talking for the Dolphins to still win in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take Dolphins. Broncos, Rams. Do we have to have a winner for this one?
You know, this might be like a good time if you like really want to watch some of these NFL games. This might be like a good game. Like, this is when you have your Christmas lunch. You can maybe like turn a TV.
You can go hang out with your family for a
you
bit.
can have a life for a few hours.
Imagine this game's just like a giant game. It's like 60 to 40, and it's just huge.
That'd be a bummer for you since you took it for your lowest scoring game of the week.
That would be a bummer.
I'm going to go Broncos. Both teams 4-10. Both teams people thought were going to be like 10-4.
I'll go Broncos, but only because of their defense. Because the Rams don't have the most succulent defense right now.
And because the Broncos look like they have an offense for the last couple weeks.
And the Rams don't look like they have one.
Yeah,
At least last week they didn't.
Yeah.
And
once Baker Mayfield learned the playbook, they were screwed.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, their best wide receiver is out, who's like a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's out, and their good quarterback has an injury all year and then is out, and then their best defensive player is out, and their second best defensive player is playing like he doesn't know how to play, and it's just kind of a team that's fallen apart. They paid. It's like the Thanos meme. It's like, did you win the Super Bowl? It's like, I did. He's like, what did it cost? Everything.
100% worth it, though.
I guess they have a ring now.
Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I hope Cup gets traded. I hope
he just signed a contract there. He's not getting traded.
Oh no! For how long?
I think 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
he's there for a while. Stafford just signed a 4-year contract. Donald signed a new contract.
Why did he do that?
I mean, they're keeping their key talent as long as, especially someone like Stafford can get healthy.
But they have to have the rest of the team.
They do need the rest of the team.
3 players.
They can't just have a stars and scrubs team.
Hey, but Donald was carrying a lot of that though. He would get 2 people blocking him and still get through most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Man was immaculately creamy.
Immaculately so.
Immaculately so.
Bucks Cardinals.
Last game on Christmas Day, Bucks Cardinals. I think Brady comes with the magic and just pounds it. Pounds.
I think he wins, but in a low-scoring 13-9 game.
Can you just be optimistic for once? It's Christmas.
This is my lowest-scoring game of the week. Okay, I needed to come through.
This is why Mom doesn't freaking love you.
Me getting mad every time they score a touchdown on Christmas night because I chose this for my lowest scoring. No,
like that.
That's how I sound.
Yeah. Well, I mean, both of our lowest score games are on Sunday.
We're hoping for just a terrible Christmas.
Yeah, I hope we're both wrong. Like lowest scoring wise, I hope we're both wrong, and then we tie it, and it's like altogether 40 points per game.
Yeah.
I hope it ties, and we both have a Christmas miracle, and teams play like NFL teams and not like high school teams.
That'd be awesome. Speaking of high school teams, how about the guy who used to coach one, Jeff Saturday and the Colts hosting the Chargers on Monday night.
Smooth transition.
Thank you.
I'm gonna just ruin your transition by being incoherent and not.
I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah.
And like I mean, just because of the Chargers, it might be close. They might let it be close, but
I like Herbert.
It shouldn't be.
I like Herbert a lot.
I do too. And I don't like the Colts.
That's true. Yeah, I think that's an easy pick there.
It should be, but
hey, that's just a theory.
That's just a game.
An NFL theory.
Thank you guys for watching, listening, and any other medium. If you like, smell the podcast. If you pump it into your veins
right now and we don't know about it.
If you're looking out through the window, what are you doing?
What's going on? Yeah. So bye.
and subscribe and leave a comment, leave a review, all that good stuff.
Yeah, tell us your pick'ems for the week and your draft picks.
Tell us how we're stupid and wrong.
Yeah, tell us about how, well, if this player plays and actually no, you're wrong.
Please do so, though. It's engagement.
Yeah, we're professionals. You're wrong. We will fight you in the comments.
And we will only cry ourselves to sleep.
Yeah. We're going to call you out on the next episode.
Yep. And insult your mother.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
I love you.